The franchise player is about to encounter the Reaper.
Undertaker! Tombstone pile driver! Rest in peace, John Cena! The Undertaker is back, better than ever. Not just beat John Cena, he routed John Cena in the Superdome.
Professionally, it was fine. Personally, it left me a little empty. I was able to train for the first time in a few years the way that I wanted to train, pain-free in my hips. I was prepared to do a 20, 30-minute match.
Short.
You would think, okay, John Cena, Undertaker.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It would have been a different deal, but
you are awesome.
No.
Yes.
That's your heart. That's your little heart.
I'm looking for that one performance, that one match brings me back to yesteryear and delivers on the match itself, the story, and all the athletic requirements to, have a good match. If it had happened with Cena, yeah, there's probably a good chance that I could have walked away and been okay. Then it was it was a 3-minute match, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That did awesome. That was unbelievable.
Oh, thank you, Tate. Thank you.
Pumpkin! Hey! How are you? Hey, are you okay that I beat John Cena?
You don't believe Daddy won?
The matches that I've won, she's actually fallen asleep and missed, so she's only stayed awake for the ones that I've lost, really. So I think she was excited to know that I could still win a match.
She goes, "Yay, Daddy!" So she was cheering for you, but she was mad that you lost, that you beat John.
Now I got to worry about John Cena's feelings.
It was nice that I got to crush her favorite and let her know that her daddy was the man. But I was disappointed the match was only what it was.
I would have liked to have seen him, have a little bit more time and go out there and just physically put on a show I knew he was capable of. But in that short 2-3 minutes, that did more for him mentally and emotionally than anything else.
The fire was really lit once I came out of the Cena match. I mean, I was feeling good. I was in shape. I was like, well, shoot, I can work a few matches. I was ready to go. And Saudi, just what they're trying to do over there and being part of that was intriguing to me. It's kind of an honor to be invited, really. It was all part of that initial relationship period between the Saudis and WWE, so it was important. If you can be part of stuff like that, I mean, those are the kind of things you're going to remember forever.
Rest in peace.
When you go across the world, you don't necessarily know how different people receive things like that. So I'm always curious when we break out caskets or whatever we do in the morbid, macabre Undertaker world, that how it's going to be received.
No matter where he walks on this earth, no matter what continent he haunts, the reaction is always the same for the Phenom, the Undertaker.
To be this close to it still takes my breath away. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up right now.
And the Undertaker glancing back at the casket where he hopes to bury Rusev tonight.
They seem to really enjoy it and be right there lockstep with us.
Here we go. Old school time! So intimidating, so dominating.
And they did a good job in the match. It was a win-win all the way around.
Oh no! Oh boy! How many times have we seen this over the years? Choke slam!
Rest in peace.
Good night, Rusev Day!
Physically, I didn't feel quite as good tonight as I did, obviously, in New Orleans, but I'm still 90% better than I felt in a few years. So, you know, at this point in my career, I just can't take a match for granted anymore. I just can't, you know. So it was really nice to get the reception that I got when I came out, you know. I mean, that never gets old, you know, and it keeps an old guy young, so.
That's kind of a bucket list thing to do, is to headline Madison Square Garden. Even after all these years, it's still special enough to bring me right in the middle of my vacation and do this, so. I just want to kind of soak it in one last time, you know, in case this is it. You never say never, I've learned that now, but it'll probably be my last match in the Garden, so. It's kind of a, you know, special night. When I rolled up to the Garden and it was lit up in purple, that was a really special moment for me. Like, after all these years in the business, you do sometimes get a little jaded about things, but it was like, wow, man, that's Madison Square Garden. That's been Vince's house forever.
The wrestling extravaganza of all-time WrestleMania. Unbelievable pandemonium here in the Garden. Unbelievable. No way! We have a new champion.
All these iconic moments in history line the halls of the building. To have your name at the top of the page on a sold-out Madison Square Garden card, that's when you know you're doing something right. These fans here in New York that come to the Garden, I mean, they are fans of the truest sense, you know.
Tonight, the Garden, the dead rises. Rest in peace.
What's your name? Who are you excited to see? The Undertaker right here to my left.
So I just want to go out there and be able to entertain them, give them a little bit of what they expect when they see the Undertaker's name on the marquee. You got to bring it at the Garden. And if you do bring it, and those people show you love, and if you don't, then they will let you hear it. They pay their money to come sit down and watch the best wrestling show in the world. And if you don't give it to them, you're in trouble. It was really nice to get that kind of reception from the Garden crowd and make all the aches and the pains go away for a little bit, even if it's for a few minutes. Not knowing, you know, exactly what I had physically, it sure helps get you through those little hiccups and those little bumps when you start feeding off of the crowd. It was nice being out there with a bunch of young guys, the guys that are out there working every night. Hopefully there's something that somebody can pick up and make themselves better. Then that makes it a success for me.
Tonight, I was taking moments to kind of look around, and something that I normally never do, make eye contact with people. I was able to kind of sit there and soak it in and reflect back on, I've been here so many times and had so many big matches here.
He is the Undertaker, and look at that! He's descending from above!
That's a good group of guys that I was in the ring with. We delivered tonight, and everybody, I think, went home happy and excited. It's good that it's still special, because when it's not special anymore, then it really is. It's time to walk away.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you, John. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
If this is the last time that I'm in the Garden, I'm okay with that, because it was a memorable night, and
I think those closure moments help if they're great, but it's a catch-22. Good job, man. If those closure moments are great, it makes you want to have another one.
These matches themselves are not what I'm looking for to say, okay, that's the one. I can go home and put my 6 shooters up on the mantle and stay here, but those aren't it. When I come home, I pretty much shut it down now, which is something that in the past that I wasn't able to do. It's right back to husband and dad mode.
There's always work to do around the house.
I think I'm going back to work full time.
Yeah.
But your mind is always like, I wonder if I did this, if I could do that. I wonder, your mind is just always going, trying to figure out how to stay fresh, stay significant, stay relevant.
Are you trying to tear the glute completely in half?
Once Vince calls me and he says, hey, are you interested in doing this, or do you want to do that? Then I have to first and foremost think, okay, how far am I out? And how hard do I have to work now to get myself ready to do that? So I get a call, and Vince calls me. He's like, hey, you want to work with Triple H? Yep, I'll do that. Yeah, and you want me to go to Australia to do it? Yeah, that's fine. Let's get it done.
Here we go in 5, 4, 3.
I'm proud to say that WWE will be making history in Australia, presenting Super Showdown. The Undertaker and Triple H will compete against each other for the very last time, ending an iconic era in WWE.
Debut of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
When I first came in to the company, 95, man, the Undertaker had an aura. That Undertaker persona was legit. We had a few opportunities to be in the ring. Maybe that changed his respect level for me. And then there was one night where we were all out, everybody was out. He kind of motioned for me to come over and poured out 2 shots of Jack and kind of sat there looking at me for a little bit. And then we started talking, and finally he just said, you're all right with me. And we did a shot of Jack, and I don't drink, and he knew it. And I think it was kind of the icebreaker for me and him.
We've always had this mutual respect for each other. We think a lot alike in match preparation and the way we go about storytelling.
And now the Undertaker taking the game for the ride. Game over.
Just one of the people that I have enjoyed working with.
The Undertaker came out with the last ride.
He was a locker room leader. He was a sort of a sounding board for things. When Steph and I got together and were starting to have a relationship, the guy that I talked to about it was Taker. He was one of the most supportive guys of it. He was like, screw everybody else and their opinions of you. You know what you bring to the table, and so do I. If anybody else doesn't like it, that's their problem. You know, he was in our wedding. At a certain point in time, you found yourselves being two of the things that were just still always there. If you walked in the locker room, the one guy that could relate to everything that you had been through for the last 20, 25 years or whatever was Taker. We don't have a day-to-day buddy-buddy hangout. That's not us, but I can look over across Gorilla and see him in his own head and can talk to him about it.
Do we call each other every day and see how our lives are going? No. But I think he knows if he ever needed anything, he could call me and I would be there. And that goes both ways.
For whatever reason, I mean, we've always had this really unique chemistry on a personal level and on a professional level. I've got a lot of moments in my career that I hold very near and dear to my heart and are very special to me with a lot of different guys. But you know, and no disrespect to anybody, but, you know, I think overall, what I'm most proud of as far as matches and storylines and all that are the 4 matches that I had. The 2 with Shawn and the 2 with Triple H.
The 2 matches with Shawn, man, I'll put them up against any.
They have different personalities, different careers and attitude and persona and styles.
It was no secret early on. I was not a big fan of Shawn Michaels. Shawn could rub me the wrong way outside of the ring. I can't really think of anybody that I had rather work with in the ring than Shawn. He's just that good.
The respect that he had for me because of my ability, that tempered or evened everything out in his mind with me. And thankfully 20 years ago, I changed.
I mean, he was just a completely different human being. Now you have 2 guys that respect each other. They're at the top of their games.
The chemistry he and I had, that may be one of the things that puts the biggest smile on my face because it was just magic being in there with him.
We're gonna go old school on Shawn Michaels, and he does.
I knew Shawn was going to be Shawn. Undertaker was going to be Undertaker. And it was magic.
Oh no! Shawn slam with authority! And he's kicked out! Oh my gosh!
I was working with Randy at that WrestleMania, and I remember watching as I was getting ready and thinking like, we are It was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. You could feel the electricity. He felt it, I felt it, everybody in the building felt it.
Tombstone! And a kick out! I am not believing this! What on earth? I just had an out-of-body experience!
And I remember saying, I'm having an out-of-body experience, because I thought I was. I was just seeing things that just were phenomenal. Determination and passion. God almighty, it was a classic.
Catching Michaels in midair! Michaels caught! Michaels caught! Michaels caught! Stone! Pile driver! My second! Michaels caught in midair! Tombstone! He did it! 17-0!
Great chemistry between those 2 guys, great execution. Storytelling is what we do, but it's storytelling at its finest.
Y'all took him every which way you could get him. Outstanding, man.
The pressure of not only following what many consider the greatest WrestleMania match ever, and then on top of that, you also have the responsibility of having his last match. And you've already set the bar the year before.
The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania against, well, Shawn Michaels' career. And the seeds were planted for tonight's epic encounter at last year's WrestleMania.
The first one was off the charts, and then the second one is the way that I'm gonna leave a line of work that has been a part of my life since I was 19.
And it does not appear that Shawn Michaels is intimidated at all.
He got the John Elway retirement. John Elway goes out, wins the Super Bowl, boom, and he retires. And then got to leave on his terms.
Oh my God! Shawn Michaels will not surrender. Tombstone! Here's the cover. Shawn Michaels' career is over.
Everybody's still sort of amazed that I'm able to stay retired. That speaks to the closure that we were able to have with one another in that match.
Boys, there is the ultimate show of respect. This might be the ultimate WrestleMania moment.
I'm so envious of Shawn because he was able to walk away and be, he was good with it. Do I wish I had that kind of clarity? Absolutely. I absolutely wish I had that kind of clarity. He had the clarity before going into the match. And hopefully, when I have the match that I'm looking for, one way or another, I hope I have that clarity to know, it's like, okay, that's it.
Shawn did what he did, and Taker still, no pun intended, wrestling with it. He's been doing it so long, it's just hard to give up the thing that you love the most.
It's hard to think of a storybook ending for this incredible character, but I believe there'll come a time when he knows it's time to say goodbye, and it will be almost understood that we've seen the last of a true phenomenon.
I want it to go right for him, to have that proper moment. Yeah, I really hope he gets it. And if he gets it, that he knows to take it and finally close the door.
At that point in time, Taker's starting to talk to me about, like, hey, what if on the other side of this, you and I pick this up and, you know, we run with this.
It's like one continual story. It started Heaven or Hell, and then it was Shawn's retirement match, and then it was Triple H taking up for his buddy. I mean, the story was so good and intermeshed.
Man, I was all for that. But the pressure of that then is I just watched two back-to-back of probably the greatest matches I'd ever seen, and now, there you go.
My God! The Lord the Undertaker launched himself!
You got two guys who are ass kickers and don't take a step back.
What limits will these relentless men go to leave with a victory here tonight?
The brutality, I mean, we took it to another level, that's for sure.
Wait! Undertaker with a Hell's Gate submission! There's still life! Can the game escape? The game taps!
I know it felt like the end of an era to us, and kind of, how do we encapsulate that? We'd all had so many conversations about this and getting Shawn back involved. And it all seemed to begin to come together as we kept talking about Hell in the Cell, because that's the match that he and Shawn started, and all the Hell in the Cells that there had been, Taker and I had been in like 2/3 of them.
Here we go. End of an era.
To me, that story had everything. Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, who's a referee. Here's the guy Undertaker who he couldn't beat at WrestleMania. Here's his best friend Triple H. Now he's the ref. He has to stay impartial.
Shawn Michaels, the special official in this matchup.
Oh, man, uh-oh. And Shawn's facials and his expressions and his emotion throughout this entire match made for tremendous theater.
I don't think there's a better hook in a match than the super kick into the pedigree, into the kick out.
It's not over! It's not over! Amazingly, The Undertaker still lived! Shawn Michaels has been calling this matchup down the middle. His emotions overwhelming him.
I think right there, more so than any other time ever, did the people think that the streak would be broke.
Look at this!
My God, we know what that means.
Yes, we do!
The sign! Oh, a disaster! The era has ended.
I knew that we had just finished something that was going to be so special that would last through the annals of time in our industry. It was storytelling at its finest. Here for the last 4 years, these guys have beat the living hell out of each other, and we did.
That was our last big shot all together of us doing what we do with each other.
It's as if these three men know that they will never be at the same place at the same time in this exact environment.
It just was all real in that moment, us leaving together, us standing on the top of that stage together. That's one of my favorite moments, I think, of all time.
A standing ovation from 78,363, and a moment that will live in infamy in WWE, an image we can never replicate.
It was just an organic moment that happened. It wasn't planned. It was probably one of the most special moments of my career, standing up there with those two guys who I had the utmost respect for. I have a picture. Shawn has one and Triple H has one. Actually, Triple H had them made for us. And it's the picture of the three of us standing at the top of the ramp. Picture hangs above the door of my gym. And it's a constant reminder of probably the most special moment in my career.
I'm not going to have these kind of opportunities to really be in the ring with someone of a magnitude, experience, respect.
There's a true friendship there, and it's always nice to know from a wife's standpoint, like, I don't have to worry about that. You know they're going to take care of one another, and you know it's going to be good. That's what makes it really special.
For the people that were along for the ride the first time, they're going to be instantly hooked because of what we did the first time. On the same token, I want them to be able to say, man, I was there. I was there the last time that Triple H and The Undertaker fought. As a fan, I want to see it.
Two legends, two icons, The Undertaker and Triple H in the culmination of one of the greatest rivalries in the history of sports entertainment.
At WWE Super Showdown, with my brother of destruction watching my back, Triple H will rest in peace.
The expectations for this match, they're going to be astronomical, just due to the talent that's involved in it.
With guys, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane, I know that they're going to be able to do what they do, and I'll be able to do what I do. Hopefully we deliver on what it is that people are expecting tonight. Thank you, buddy. We have such incredible history, and we've been able to do incredibly entertaining matches. I think everybody's just kind of like, yeah, let's just go out there and do what we do and show the young kids how the old guys do it.
I'm not in the groove. I haven't done it. Can I still do it? But with a legend like that, there's a confidence level there. We just have to go there and have a match. Like I can do that in my sleep with him.
I mean, there's always pressure. You always have pressure to perform, but there's no added pressure. There was no reason to stress because you know the other guy knows what he's doing, and you'll be able to go out there and tear it down.
Truth be told, at this point, this is the only reason I come to work anymore. Not the fact that we'll have 75,000 people out there.
We have played cards in a lot of different countries.
Continents, yeah.
Continents, countries.
Most people who know me and understand me in the working environment know if I give you a lot of crap, then I think a lot of you.
Is there anyone that's a real sore loser? Larry?
No, he's horrible. I give Larry a lot of crap.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's bad news right there for you, brother.
Cash in.
About time I'm about to make a comeback.
Come on.
We have a lot of downtime, especially when you're on the road all the time. We spent a lot of time with Larry playing gin. We played so much cards that it's just kind of been, people come in to just watch us play cards, and there's certain guys that would come into the room and I'd have to make them leave the room because they were bad luck. Hornswoggle, Big Show, Chimmel.
Sorry for your bad luck.
With Taker and I, we always joked and we played for pride, and there was no money exchange. For us, our pride was way worth more than our money. He's a very sore loser.
This will never make it. You know we're gonna edit this, right?
You gotta leave this in. This is the, you gotta leave this in.
I mean, it's been a full-time job trying to keep me healthy and able to perform. Just through all the years, we've really bonded. I gotta say something nice about him. His gin game, it really is subpar, and I'll probably get a phone call shortly after this airs, but anyway.
And it's probably time to go to work.
It's time to go to work.
What you get later? His ass kicked.
Welcome to the land down under. You are looking live at the spacious Melbourne Cricket Ground in Melbourne, Australia, where 70,309 WWE fans will experience WWE Super Showdown. History will be made. The Undertaker versus Triple H, last time ever.
The fact that we are witnessing history, this bookend on the storied rivalry between Triple H and The Undertaker, this place is on fire.
Triple H has not beaten The Undertaker one-on-one in 16 long years. It is a big fight feel in front of 70,309 WWE fans.
The history of hate on the faces of these two men.
It's been 7, 8 years, 9 years since those last matches together. Been a lot happened to us since then. It was old school storytelling.
Undertaker goes old school!
Both of these superstars with two of the best legacies in the history of sports entertainment. Neither one wants to have a tarnish tonight.
It needed to be physical and violent. I think we went at it in a way that typified that it was going to be the last match ever.
Two superstars who have literally done everything there is to do in this industry, asking themselves now, what more do I have to do for one final victory?
Oh, and he blocked it! And now Shawn Michaels!
Triple H with the sledgehammer in hand again!
Off the face of The Undertaker! Sweet chin music! Into a pedigree! And with that, it's over. For
For the last time ever, both of these superstars left it all in the ring.
A nod of acknowledgement from the dead man. How iconic is this moment? Two gladiators sharing the ring with two men who have shaped their careers. Oh my God! Oh my God! A tombstone! Years and years of pent-up frustration.
We just witnessed the ultimate show of respect. Now this is the ultimate show of betrayal.
The Brothers of Destruction have lived up to their nickname.
Doing good.
How long we go? 30, 35, something like that? Ooh.
Home, James.
I think as a whole, I think I'm gonna be happy with it. Now I may watch it, and I was like, holy crap, Kane screwed up so much in this match.
Won't be the first time you say that.
We've set the table for the next act. People are gonna leave here with something very specific that they wanna see, and I think we did our job that way, for sure, you know. So, we'll see what happens.
Are you ready?
The Brothers of Destruction versus Generation X. It's huge on paper. It's huge. You know, there's no weak links anywhere in the four of us.
Kane, Undertaker, Brothers of Destruction. We got 2 words for ya.
I mean, that's just like a dream, like for all of us to be in there together one last time. The table was set for success.
All right, Kane, this is to your line. In 5, 4, 3.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels, you had 3 words for us. Are you ready? Well, we have 3 words for you. Go yourself.
It's pretty good. Early on, working with him is pretty intimidating. It's a little different than it is today. Back then, everybody was interested in protecting their spot, often at the expense of new guys.
That's gotta be Kane!
That was never the case with Mark. He wanted to help the new guys along. I would never have been able to have the career that I had without him, and he'd always been an advocate for me.
What a hellacious matchup this is going to be. 2 brothers about to collide.
When I wrestled at WrestleMania for the first time against The Undertaker, that's my favorite match of all time.
Man, he never took a day off, worked hurt. Obviously, you know, we had our moments when we worked together. We worked against each other.
Both of us have been through a lot, put ourselves through a lot physically.
What's he doing? Oh my God! Kane just toe-slammed The Undertaker through the mat!
I do think there's a lot of mutual respect, and hopefully he thinks the same of me.
You can count on Glenn Jacobs just like you can count on the sun coming up in the morning. One of the few guys I'd ever let hold my wallet if I had to.
Shawn Michaels may claim he stayed away out of respect for me that he no longer has. But deep down in his black soul, Shawn knows that what kept him in the shadows for 8.5 years was nothing but fear. Was I surprised Shawn came out of retirement? 100%. Every conversation I had had with Shawn at that point was absolutely not. But at the same point in time, you go, I don't want to do this, but yeah, but it's with guys that are, you know, we've all been down the road for 25 years. Piece of cake.
I was blown away that he agreed to do it. Even talking to him about it, you know, he had no aspirations of making a comeback. It was a one-off.
Wait a minute, Shawn Michaels, super kick to the Undertaker.
You know, Hunter and Taker and all that, you know, being out there with those guys was just a comfortable thing. And so it's like, oh, well, that I can do. And that sounds like fun, and thrilled about doing it and encouraged about doing it.
It's with Kane and Taker. Dude, it's a night off, right? You'll come in there, we'll do a couple crotch chops, we'll throw some glow sticks out, a couple super kicks, drop an elbow. It'll all be great. No problems, right? Easy. Except me and Taker are, you know, doing the once in a while thing. Shawn hasn't wrestled in however many years. Kane's the mayor. It's like a bad comedy movie. It really is.
4 icons, 4 legends, 4 all-time greats. History happening now. And Triple H, oh my God, up over the top. Hunter hit hard.
My arm was hooked in there deep, and I just gone. I said, I just tore my pack off. Shawn never panics on it, but I remember the look in his face like, you're hitting me. At one point, I remember looking up, and it looked like Kane's whole head fell off because his mask came off.
Shawn Michaels hit Kane so hard that Kane's mask came off his face.
It couldn't have gone any worse.
It was a total train wreck. It was a disaster.
The game has nothing left, but was that enough? It is! D-Generation X wins!
Oh, goodness. It totally blew.
We're all humans, and things even happen to people that you don't think things like that happen to. I take a lot of responsibility in that because my mind, I wasn't there. I mean, I was there physically, but mentally, I wasn't there. And Michelle and I had some personal things going on with other parts of the family, and you know, so I had that drama, you know, going on in my head that I was all consumed with. If that match would have came off the way that it was intended and the way we would want it to, that may have been enough for me.
Oh boy, here we go. It's gonna be a vicious cycle of, I know he's not gonna be happy. I know he's not gonna be happy with his performance, which means he's gonna have to redeem himself.
Because he's your buddy, because he's, you know, so important to you, you don't want that for him. It's chasing the dragon. And that's, that ain't healthy, man.
Everybody's storybook ending is different. If the closure moments aren't what you want them to be, you double down on yourself if I can't go out like that. It's a catch-22 and it's addictive and it's hard to break the cycle and get out of it.
Especially after 30 years, you want to leave on something that just felt right. I think after the WrestleMania, when he left his jacket and his hat in the middle of the ring, that could have been it. But he wasn't ready. So I don't think anything's gonna be a perfect puzzle where everything fits together until he's emotionally and mentally has that closure. And I think once he has that closure, you know, this being his identity for 30 years, until he gets that closure, I don't think it matters what happens in the ring.
Every professional wrestler is looking for that storybook ending. If he has to put his body on the line over and over and over again, he'll just keep doing it until you tell him to stop. You know, you can't do it anymore.
I think Undertaker's processing the end. You know it's bothers him that it's coming to an end. He's the aging gunfighter, man. Sand is pouring through the hourglass at a pretty rapid rate. It's called Father Time. Father Time don't do any jobs. Father Time doesn't lose any matches.
With the reality sinking in of being human and with other responsibilities in terms of family and things of that nature, but yet at the same time wanting to perform, it's in your heart. You just can't get it out. And when you look in the mirror, which is tough for some of us to do, you look in the mirror and you want to make sure the person in the mirror is looking back at you as the reality. You constantly in life are reflecting on, wait a minute, where am I?
Every one of us got to look in that mirror and have that come to Jesus talk. When everything is said and done, you step away from this stuff. It's with the missus, it's with those kids that you got to have real peace and real joy, or else that disintegrates too.
All right, you're just never going to get that one thing that you're looking for, and now you got all this other crap going on. Yeah, I kind of read that as like, okay, you're spinning out of control and you need to make some life changes here or something. I'm coming to grips with the fact that my days in the ring are numbered.
Mania's around the corner. Obviously, I don't have a match this year, and I'm okay with that, I think.
I'm watching the show, and that's when it really hit me, like, I should be out there.
The Phenom will take on Goldberg for the first time ever. Oh my God!
That was catastrophic.
But I instantly text our doctors and I was like, is he okay?